Finally, some free time. Let's get some work done on the SCX24. What's up everyone, thanks for watching. I finished up part 1 of this build by mocking up the body. Today, we'll start by actually getting it to fit properly. I'll first need to trim the body so the tires will clear. I went ahead and did one side already. This was the part I was probably most nervous about. Thankfully, it was a lot easier than I thought. I was able to score the plastic with an X-Acto knife, just like you would do with styrene, and then used a pair of pliers to snap it off. The front gave me a little more trouble because of all the supports in the body as well as the door. I was able to get it cut cleanly with a little patience though. With the body trimmed, it should sit so much better, but the front piece of the frame is still in the way. So let's take care of that real quick. Now we can get an idea of how the body will actually fit. Well, I guess I have a color changing body all of a sudden. In all seriousness, I painted the body off camera. This white did not cover that well even after a coat of primer. I think I ended up with 6 or 7 coats of the pearl white before adding all the black accents afterwards. In the end, it still came out nice and looks really cool sitting on the chassis. The next thing on the list is figuring out the ESC mount. I need to get it lower, so I started by taking the mount off and cutting it, but leaving the shock mounts intact. I was then able to take some measurements to design and 3D print a new mount. The new mount slides right into place and uses the bottom 2 screws from the original mount to hold it in place. The ESC fits perfectly and the motor wires just barely reach the plug. The body now looks like it sits at the right height, but with the tires back on, it looks like they'll still rub. I had originally designed and printed some wide wheel hexes, but it looks like I'll have to go even wider. I got one side swapped out, so let's do the other. They were a pretty snug fit, so my cutters worked well as a pry bar to pull the hex off. I found the best way to get the new hex on was by lining up the pin and then using the nut to press. And my camera died. Let's continue on the rear. Using the nut, I can press the hex onto the axle. Remember that ESC mount I just made? Yeah, scratch that. I found this low center of gravity battery mount on Thingiverse and it mounts up front. I'll leave a link in the description to it. The new tray slides between the frame rails and bolts back up to the original location of the ESC and shock mounts. I printed up a quick mount for the ESC to be relocated behind the motor. It also slides right between the frame rails and uses the bottom two holes from the original battery tray. And after I struggle a bit with the double-sided tape, the ESC fits snugly in its new home. Everything now sits much lower in the truck, or car, which should help with its performance as well. I threw together these quick body mounts from some styrene. The rear mounts are done the same way with some styrene rod cut to length. And then glued to these small strips of styrene using my very shaky hands. After they were set, I threw some black paint on them as well as the Velcro that will secure the body. With some holes drilled in the post, the mounts can be screwed into the original mount locations. After getting the Velcro lined up, I finally have the body mounted. I didn't get much video of assembling the body as this was the first model I've ever dealt with, but I'm super happy with how it came out. I was even able to get the original LEDs fit into the headlights of the McLaren. In what I'm thinking should be the final part of this build, we'll put together some accessories and scale details to finish it off. Let me know in the comments below what accessories or parts you'd like to see me add. Leave a like if you enjoyed and made it to the end of the video. Thanks again for watching. Peace.